Are you looking for free resources to prepare for an interview? Well, today I wanted to go over the interview warm-up that's by Google. Google created this free resource that you can practice interview questions. And since I recently had an internal interview, I thought I would try it out for myself and review it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Philip McGee. I am a physical therapist who works full-time in utilization review, and I also do practice interviews where I help people prepare for the interview that they're going to have if they're going non-clinical, and to provide feedback. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to see the difference between this free resource and also what I provide. So if you go either search Google interview, it'll be one of the first links that comes up, or you can go to grow.google/certificates/interview-warmup, and they have different fields. If you're someone like myself who's a clinician going into a non-clinical position, I'd select general. So you can choose to see all of the questions that they have, or you can just answer the 5 questions. If you wanted to see all the questions, they have 14 different questions that will come up. You can choose those questions, or if you wanted it to be more like an actual interview, you could go back, select general, and start, and then they'll give you 5 separate questions. Of those 5 questions, they'll give you, in this case, this is a background question. You can either choose to use the microphone and have it transcribe your voice. I will say from my experience, it's not honestly very good at transcribing at least my voice. You can also type out your answer. One thing that's really helpful is that you can click on this background question to find information, and it will give you some tips about answering the questions and why the interviewer is asking it. And they break it down into 3 different types of questions. There's background, situational, and technical. So I do think it's really helpful that they provide those different resources there. And what's nice is that you get a chance to actually articulate your thoughts that you're going to have for your answers, because if you're like me, it can sound nice in your head, but then once you actually start speaking, then you don't quite know where to go with the next sentence. So being able to practice that can be very helpful. I wanted to show the feedback that interview warm-up gives, and here's an example of a pretty common question. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself? I'm not going to transcribe it. I'm just going to paste my answer. And if I select done, it will look at my answer for job-related terms and highlight the certain terms that it noticed, such as experience, strength, enjoy, education. And if you click on the word, it will ask you certain questions to consider about those words that you use. And then here are some different commonly used job terms. So above and beyond, accomplished, accountable, achieved, analyzed. And then as far as most used words, it will let you know what words you've used most often. And then talking points, they go over experience, skills, lessons learned, goals, and interests. And you can click on the interests. It'll highlight what in your answer discuss the interests, and you can see examples of things to consider for talking points about your interests. Or if it's related to goals, you can see examples there. And then for experience, it highlights that, and you can look at different things to consider when discussing your experience. As far as skills and lessons learned, it didn't notice those talking points, so it can provide some insights as to what to change if you're wanting to discuss lessons learned or skills if it's related to the question. So as far as the pros of the interview warm-up, I think it's great that it gives you the opportunity to practice out loud the questions and to be able to have some tips on how to answer the questions. Overall, I think it's a nice free resource. You can practice it again. You can choose to have new questions, or you can practice the same questions. The drawbacks that I see are that you really need to be able to have feedback on your answers. You don't really know how good your answers are unless there's someone to provide that feedback to you. That is one of the reasons why I enjoy doing practice interviews. I think that it's really helpful to be able to have someone from the outside listen to your answer and be able to provide some feedback and provide some insights as to how to enhance your answers. If you go to my website, Nonclinical Career Guide, you can click on practice interviews. And once you do that, you can book a time with me. And if you do a practice interview, I give you practice interview questions to prepare for, as well as giving some pearls of wisdom as to how to prepare for the interview. In addition to that, during the practice interview, I give you feedback on your answers and how to enhance your answers. People who have done the practice interviews have said that it is money very well spent. I think that this is a great way to make sure that you feel prepared and calm and hopefully get that job offer that you've been waiting for. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see a few other videos that provide free resources. You can click on those, the 5 interview tips to get the job and the top 3 virtual non-clinical interview tips. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video.